Guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. Guys, I wanted to do a little video. Talking about Mr. Gervonta Davis. There's been a lot of talk, and Lomachenko's come out and said that he would love to fight Tank Davis, but unfortunately the boxing politics and Mayweather's only matching him up with guys that, they think they can beat. Now, guys, smash the like button before we get into this video. Make sure to hit the like button. Guys, don't stop hitting the like button. I know a lot of you are watching my videos, but please smash the like button. It really helps, it really helps the channel. It really helps the channel move forward. So please smash that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you've not subscribed, and share the videos. I'd really appreciate your support. And you know I appreciate your support. All of you guys have been great over the years, and you've supported the channel. You've helped me. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much, guys. So getting back to this, Lomachenko is open. Lomachenko's always been open to that fight. Lomachenko's always wanted Gervonta Davis, but it seems like more Mayweather's side that are probably not making the fight. They probably don't think the timing's right. They probably don't think that the fight is made sense for all these years, because Gervonta was a young guy and Lomachenko was obviously older. So they thought, this fight could be for one in the future. And it doesn't make sense because Lomachenko was in his prime, and Davis was still green. He was still young. They think that, we can make Lomachenko get a little older and then eventually fight him. The problem is now Tank's 27. And I think a lot of the boxing fans are becoming a little bit restless with his level of opposition, because they think now is the time for him to start stepping up. Unfortunately, Mayweather and, Mayweather Promotions and Jovan, I'd assume a fighter would fight anybody. Like Gervonta wouldn't be afraid to get in there with Lomachenko or get in there with anybody. Gervonta would fight absolutely anyone, and I think he would get in. But obviously, as a promoter's job is to guide a career carefully. And Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby, they've obviously guiding, and they probably think early on, I think a couple of years ago, I think they were doing right, because I think putting him in with Lomachenko would be kind of like a bad move, because it was too risky at the time, in my opinion, and it would have been dangerous. And I think they've guided his career right. I think now Gervonta is ready. I think the Isaac Cruz fight showed that Gervonta he's developed very high boxing IQ now. He is improved massively. He's not just a big puncher. He's also a guy that can box. So I think now, I think Gervonta Davis could get better slightly, but I think he has developed his ring IQ and he is ready now for any of the top guys. He's 27. He's arguably in his physical prime. You got to realize is Gervonta started his career very early. So this isn't a guy that's going to probably go on till 40 or whatever. And generally, the lighter fighters don't go on till 40. Most of the lighter fighters are done by about 33, 34, especially if they start early like Gervonta Davis. Now, Gervonta Davis hasn't got that many miles on the clock. He hasn't had a lot of tough fights. But anyway, your body is your body, right? I believe after like 32, 33, you start to decline. You're starting to decline. You're not going to get better after that. Unless you're a gifted fighter like Mayweather, who was able to adapt his style and adapt. But very few fighters are like Mayweather. How many fighters do you know in the history that can adapt and do what Mayweather did? Very few fighters are like that. And I don't believe Gervonta has the skill set of a Mayweather where he will be able to do that. Hence why I think that Gervonta needs to start now stepping up his game and start fighting the top guys. I do think a Lomachenko fight now should be more realistic and should be something that Leonard Ellaby, Floyd Mayweather, the networks and broadcasters, Al Heyman, should be thinking of making, because I think Lomachenko isn't going to get any better now. He is what he is. And Gervonta is, you'd say, in his physical prime. So he's ready for those fights. What you don't want to do is get it to a point where Gervonta starts to decline when you give him those fights. So Gervonta right now is at his best, in my opinion. And I think those fights should be made. I will say this, though. Someone's asked me stylistically, how do I think the fight goes? Gervonta has got great boxing IQ and he's improved. He's not just a big puncher. What I will say, though, is that Gervonta can't outbox Lomachenko. So Gervonta would have to knock out Lomachenko to win that fight. There's no way that Gervonta is going to be able to outbox, especially like Tio was a bigger guy. He's a big puncher. Tio was, in my opinion, a lot bigger. So Lomachenko couldn't really outbox him. Tank's not very big. So Lomachenko could possibly outbox Tank from the outside. So Gervonta is going to have to get close, get on the inside and start landing those big uppercuts, those body shots to slow Lomachenko down. But one thing we've seen about Tank, as the opponents have got better, his punch power isn't as devastating. You know, I know he knocked out Leo Santa Cruz, but Leo Santa Cruz was a lot smaller man. So and Lomachenko hasn't really ever showed a bad chin. Now, he did get hurt against Linares. He got back up and won the fight. He has been hurt before, but again, I think he's got a very good chin. Let's not forget, he never went down against Lopez either. And Lopez is known for being a big lightweight and a big puncher. So, yeah, I do think that I do think Tank Davis will have to find a way to knock Lomachenko out. If he doesn't knock Lomachenko out, I think it's going to be very hard for him to win. I can't see him outboxing Lomachenko and winning 7 rounds. If I'm totally honest, when I break their styles down, I just can't see how Tank would outbox Lomachenko. So personally, I think Gervonta Davis would have to knock out Lomachenko to win that fight. That's just my honest opinion. I think it would be a great fight. Don't get me wrong. I think it would be a great fight. That's just the way I see it. I think Gervonta would have to knock Lomachenko out. And I'm not sure he could do that. I would favor Lomachenko. I personally think Lomachenko is the best lightweight in the world. I do. I've said this for a while now. I think Lomachenko is the best lightweight out there. I don't think there's a better lightweight than Lomachenko. I think a lot of people are sleeping on Lomachenko because he lost to what's his name, Teofimo. And I think people are going off one loss. And listen, I said this before. Boxing fans are very reactionary. They just because a guy loses a fight, they end up saying, oh, well, you know, he's no good and this, that, and the other. Yeah, he did lose to Salido. He lost to Salido in his second fight. How many fighters do you know fight for a world title in their second pro fight? You know, how many fighters fight Salido in their second pro fight? You know, nobody. And that was a very close fight, by the way. It's not like he got destroyed in that fight. It was very close. And even the Lopez fight was very close. You know, and I personally think that Lomachenko was probably a little hurt. And not just hurt, I think that Lomachenko probably had the wrong game plan. You have to give credit to Lopez because Lopez won that fight. And Lopez wasn't expected to win that fight. So I don't want to take credit away from Lopez. But Lopez's next fight... See, okay, in that case then, we could say the same about Lopez. That he was he beat Comey and he beat Nakatani. But, you know, he beat Lomachenko and then lost to Kambosos. So is he a one-hit wonder? This is what I mean. Like, you can be reactionary all the time. The same way the fans are writing off Lopez, the same fans write off Lomachenko because they're reactionary. What I mean by reactionary, they go off what they see, the result, and they base their whole career around that. No, that's not how you judge a fighter's career. You judge a fighter's career by what they've done and who they've beaten in the past and what they've achieved. You don't just become reactionary and say, oh, well, he lost to him, so he's rubbish. That's just so reactionary. Like that, then there'll be no great fighters because most fighters lose. Most fighters lose. Every time they'll lose, oh, he's been exposed. No. Sometimes you just come up against a fighter that has your number stylistically. That doesn't mean you're not a great fighter. Styles make fights at world level. All these guys are world level fighters. Styles make fights. So Gervonta Davis may be Ryan Garcia, but Gervonta Davis might not beat Lomachenko, but maybe Ryan Garcia beats Lomachenko. I'm not saying Ryan Garcia will beat Lomachenko. I'm just saying styles make fights. Styles make fights at the top level. And sometimes stylistically, one guy might be a bad matchup for one guy, but that same guy might lose to a guy that the other guy that he beat. So styles make fights in boxing. It's got nothing to do with, oh, that guy's not elite or that guy's been exposed. No, styles make fights. Every world-class fighter is a good fighter. And stylistically, they could give another guy problems. For example, Lara gave Canelo a whole heap of trouble, right? I know it was Canelo early on, but Jarrett Hurd walked through Lara. But now if you put Jarrett Hurd in with Canelo, Canelo would absolutely dismantle him. Do you understand? Because styles make fights. Certain styles give certain fighters a problem. Styles make fights in boxing, guys. You've got to realize that. So just because a certain style, like, for example, Teofimo gave Lomachenko a lot of trouble, but maybe Gervonta would walk through Lopez. Who knows? I'm not saying he does. I'm just giving you an example. That styles make fights. Styles make fights in boxing. Styles make fights. They certainly do. Look, for example, Amir Khan fought Danny Garcia. He got knocked out, right? Amir Khan knocked out Zab Judah in 6 rounds. 2 years later, Danny Garcia fought Zab Judah, and Zab Judah gave Danny Garcia a life and death fight. A very close fight. But yeah, if we were to go off the triangle theory, then Danny Garcia should have not got Judah out in a round. You see, styles make fights in boxing. Stylistically, styles make fights. And that's how boxing works. It's not about, oh, well, that guy beat that guy, so that means he'll beat that. That triangle theories don't work in boxing. You know, they don't work in boxing. But that's just my take on it. What do you guys think? Do you think Gervonta Davis would have to knock out Lomachenko to win? Or do you think Gervonta Davis could outbox Lomachenko? Leave your thoughts. Let me know what you're thinking in the comment section below. Smash the like button, of course. I really appreciate it, guys. You showing the support and love. Make sure to smash the like button. Show the support. Subscribe to the channel. Share the videos. And I'll see you all in the next video, guys. Peace.